Ladies and gentlemen, prepare yourself for the WIN Show on KZKO. Take part with the cast by sending your suggestions for each segment throughout the week or during the show by hitting them up on Facebook at World Improv Network, Twitter at World Improv Net, or the WIN KZKO blog. Now, enjoy the show. It's local. It's global. You are listening to WIN World Local News.
WIN World Local News with Potter Smittss. Our top story today is brought to us by WIN contributor Harlan of Duluth, Minnesota. The box office success and critical acclaim of the film Mad Max: Fury Road has brought into question where and what the Fury Road is. To race down the highway of the apocalypse, let's go live to WIN senior global destruction reporter, Dr. Belial, who's in hell with the fiery details. Dr. Belial?
Yes. Thank you, Potter. Coming to you live from hell with a noted anger expert, the inspiration for Dr. Bruce Banner, the real-life Dr. Twice Tanner. Dr. Twice, how are you?
I have a lot of rage just bubbling underneath this cool, calm exterior.
Yes, you're kind of out of place here in hell, but you keep it inside.
Ready to unleash it at any given moment. Yes! The slightest thing could provoke me and tilt me and move me to...
All right. Well, that was close.
That felt great.
Excellent. That was very frightening.
What's your question for me?
Have you ever driven down the Fury Road?
I forged the Fury Road. I was the first to venture forth. I took inspiration from, what's-his-face, that poet,
Robert Frost?
Robert Frost.
So, his two roads diverged in a yellow wood. Where did your two roads diverge?
In the sandy dunes of Mount Everest. Bizarro Mount Everest. It's like Everest, but it's inverse.
Downward, yeah.
Downward, that's right, because we're in hell.
And everything is the opposite here in hell, geographically.
Right.
Now, you forged this Fury Road.
Yes.
Using your own patented inner flames of fury.
That's right, and with those inner flames, I wielded the hammer of smiting willingness. And in the other hand, I had the machete of malevolent malice.
It's a very impressive picture that you paint, but I think Mr. Tanner, Dr. Tanner, excuse me.
I didn't just go to med school to not be called doctor.
Well, I apologize. Dr. Tanner, if you could allow me just one more question, please. Okay,
ask your question and then I'll put you down, maybe.
Thank you. I would like to keep my arms in their sockets too, please. But Mr. Tanner, what is it? Dr. Tanner! Oh my God, Dr. Tanner! Potter, back to you!
Wow. Dr. Belial, I think you lost control over that interview, and boy, I didn't know who was wearing the shorts in that situation. Okay. Well, our next story is from WIN contributor Virgil of New Haven, Connecticut. As the 2016 United States presidential race heats up, a new wild card has been thrown into the deck. Former U.S. President Bill Clinton has decided to make a change in his support to front-running Democratic candidate and wife Hillary Clinton by undergoing sex realignment therapy in order to become the vice president's running mate. To hear the ultimatum and why and how President Clinton is making this metamorphosis from chrysalis to beautiful butterfly, let's go live to WIN senior political analyst Dr. Ruth with the juicy details. Dr. Ruth?
Yes, I'm here in the waiting room of Mount Sinai Hospital, and I'm sitting here with former President Bill Clinton.
Thank you.
Certainly. Now, I imagine you have a lot of nerves, waiting for...
I do.
Waiting for the outcome of whatever you want to call this situation. It's pretty confusing, actually.
Well, I prefer to call it just your simple SRS, your simple sexual realignment surgery, so that I can better support my loving wife Hillary and help guide her to more correct decisions.
Now, why do you feel compelled to... I'm sorry, I just got to... there seems to be like some arcade games and...
Yeah.
Some folks are doing the chickie dance.
Mm-hmm. They are my dance troupe that I have been occupying myself since Hillary has been so busy, and I have also been very busy. Life is stressful, so I have been. I hired this group of teenage girls from the local high school to accompany me, and whenever I get too stressed, we all just get together and do a little chicken dance.
Now, how long have you been... who recommended that as a way to relieve your stress?
Well, this was just all me.
Well, it seems like there are a lot of ways to relieve your stress. Why hiring a band of teenage girls to do the chickie dance with you?
Well,
what is it about that provides relaxation?
I think I just like to be in the company of nubile young women.
In the chickie dance?
Well, I mean, they're bouncing around and flapping their arms, you know, and that just kind of gets
flapping
me.
Their arms?
Yes, yeah.
Something
like a chicken. And
do you like chicken, or when teenage girls resemble chickens, or
that's mainly it. It's when girls can resemble chickens. Hillary, for instance, now looks more like a turkey with that gobble, that like waddle she has under her chin that just droops. And I mean, back in the day, she was one hell of a chicken. But now I've grown bored with her, and that actually is...
Yet you're
Dr. Ruth, that's the other reason I'm undergoing this SRS, is as another way to kind of liven up our sex life.
You'll stay together. Have you... I think there's a lot to delve in here, and I think we'll have to have another interview, perhaps after your SRS.
Oh, well, I'm sorry. If you'll excuse me, I just noticed that it is 10 after 3, so it's time for my afternoon chicken dance.
All right. Yeah. Well, thank you, former President Clinton, for your time. Back to you, Potter Smittss.
Wow, that sounds like a very formidable team there running together. President, ex-president, with wannabe president, also going to be vice president. Wow, that sounds complicated too. Well, let's head on over to the World Sports Desk and check in with Fired Up Frank, who's outside the Twin Peaks restaurant in Waco, Texas at the International Biker Brawling Championship. How's the competition shaping up down there? Fired up?
Well, Potter, I came down here expecting a nice fair fight. But I gotta tell you, the Twin Peaks restaurant here, they are not set up to accommodate this many brawling bikers. The venue itself was not prepared properly. There should have been more weapons available to the bikers, for one. And for a second, there should have just been more space. They left all the tables in the center of the dining room. It created obstructions, so one of the gangs was actually not even able to enter the fray for the first 20 minutes of the brawl, and they were just standing on the side looking bored. A really unprofessional event here in Waco, Texas. Potter, back to you.
Oh, good information there, Fired Up. Maybe you should file a complaint with the commissioner for unfair practices that the gangs didn't even equally get to participate. All right, well, let's check in on the world's weather, and let's see what Tulip Sunspring's up to. She's in the desert hot spring outside Tangiers, Morocco, having a seance. What's that all about, Tulip, and how's the weather looking in North Africa?
Yes, we're trying to bring back the spirit of a woman who lived out here in the desert. She was something of a hermit, and sometimes I feel like a hermit, and I think like when it comes to the weather, I think that can drive us apart, like the rain or the heat. Like sometimes the weather feels like an obstacle, and sometimes it brings us together. And so I'm just trying to receive the consultation, some advice from the spirit of this woman who is a hermit. And
why do you?
Oh my God, she's here.
Me?
I was just wondering, like if the weather's like really annoying and you don't want to go outside, like should you just stay inside, like, by yourself? Or, like, should you,
you should dig a hole and jump in it. Jump in it very deep to the bottom.
Oh, my God, Potter, there are 2 spirits here, and, oh, my God, it looks like they're bringing more spirits with them. Like, it's a spirit party of some sort. Like, I guess, like, are you no longer hermits in your afterlives?
Belial is our master.
What?
Belial.
Oh my God, I think they're making reference to a hellish spirit, Dr. Belial, who's like an anger guy or something.
Yes. Hell anger management has made me better able to tolerate company in the afterlife. Yes, along with Salesforce automation software to control the 9 hells.
It's a pretty cloudless day here. By the river, it's pretty balmy, but if you're further out into the desert, it's a sweltering heat. And I'm just gonna, I'm just gonna continue. Alright, they're getting pretty close. Things are getting intimate with the spirit, so I'm gonna hand it back to you, Potter.
Wow, Tulip, that's the best report on the weather you've done in weeks. Fantastic reporting. And thank you all for tuning in to WIN World Local News. I'm Potter Smittss. Stay tuned for Community Court next on the World Improv Network.
Give the WinCast your suggestions via Facebook, Twitter, or the KZKO WIN blog during the commercial break of a case that needs to be heard during Community Court. Next on KZKO. Stay tuned. We'll be right back with another exciting segment for WIN on KZKO The Vibe.